So Infinity Train is over, or at least that's what everyone thought until Cartoon Network's big reveal that the show would be returning. But even though we'll be seeing more passengers and stories on this train that lasts forever, Tulip's journey seems to be done. Let's talk about Infinity Train's first season and what makes it a truly wild ride. Where do I even start? I guess it's worth going back to the very beginning, when in episode 1 it's revealed that Tulip didn't have the best home life. Turns out her parents were divorced and she wasn't taking it well. Right off the bat, Infinity Train was establishing itself as something completely new. A show being able to tackle darker topics while also still being realistic. Even though the main storyline of solving the secrets of the train never faded away, Tulip's past kept appearing throughout the season. It wasn't just a few scenes in the first episode. The best part about all this is that the topic wasn't merely hinted at, but instead outright said to the audience multiple times, and it was very known to be a divorce from the beginning. Cartoon Network encouraged the crew to make the show this way, which I think is really cool, especially when you don't see the topic being addressed in other kids shows. According to series creator Owen Dennis, 2 of the writers on Infinity Train have divorced parents, and their experiences were used to portray the topic as meaningful and realistic as possible. The crew did an incredible job handling all this, and we see Tulip slowly start to accept her past as the episodes continued. At the very end, she realizes that change is necessary and it's impossible to go back to the way things were. This is an incredibly meaningful message that can be applied to just about every single person's life. We all experience change in one way or another. The emotional aspect and backstory of Infinity Train was amazing, but we still need to talk about the actual concept of the show. When you have train cars that seemingly go on forever, there's really no limit as to where the main characters can go, or even what can happen. All signs of logic are completely gone, which opens the door for literally anything. With animation, you have to shut off the logic part of your brain since things aren't realistic, but if we're talking Infinity Train, that's taken to a whole new level. Seeing Tulip enter so many new worlds was amazing because you really didn't know what would come next, and that sense of mystery continued throughout the entire season. Even from episode 1, the show set up some questions that needed answers throughout the 10 episodes, along with some clever foreshadowing. For some examples and mysteries, what happened to this guy who got vaporized? Why is 1-1 looking for his mom, and who is his mom? How does the Infinity Train even work? All these questions would be addressed in some way over the course of the season, and the constant mysteries were essential in keeping a viewer's interest. Seriously, this show was so addicting, and every time I saw a new episode, I needed more. Also adding to the list of what makes Infinity Train so crazy good is the stellar lineup of characters. You have Tulip, the main star of the show, who's just trying to get to game design camp, but stumbles upon the train that lasts forever. She's really interested in programming and how things work, which meant her skills could come to the test when figuring out all the mysteries she comes across. You also have 1-1, who's a perfect comedic relief character that never takes up too much of the spotlight. He's happy and sad, which results in 2 very different types of jokes, but everything about that just works. He also ended up being one of the most essential aspects to the entire train, so there's that too. Finally, in the main character lineup is Atticus, a Corgi King. Is there really anything I need to say to explain why this guy is incredible? He's a Corgi King! Even many of the side characters were interesting. The cat was cool, even though you didn't really know if she was good or bad. The steward was terrifying with an ominous design, so anytime it showed up, you knew things were about to go down. Oh yeah, and we have Amelia, who was just introduced towards the end, but she still had a ton of character development. Her backstory of losing the one she cared for most was diving into some of those darker topics again, which is cool because that stuff isn't mentioned too often in other kids shows. Something that made Infinity Train stand out from the rest is the aesthetic. Everything from the backgrounds to the music made this the perfect sci-fi adventure mystery, and it helped in immersing ourselves into this new world we find ourselves in. Overall, Infinity Train was just a fantastic and absolutely crazy ride from start to finish. It wasn't afraid to get dark at times, knowing that the audience very much includes teens and adults. Of course, not every mystery was solved, and I still have way more questions than answers, but the next season should help with that. I think if this show were to continue long term, it could become one of Cartoon Network's new hits. It has everything that Adventure Time or regular show had going for it, so I wouldn't be surprised. Even though we've been waiting years for this series to come out, I'd say it was worth the wait, especially now knowing that there's more to come. Shout out to the entire crew who worked on this. Y'all are incredible. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.